Did Vince Papale's punt fumble recovery really count as a touchdown, like the movie Invincible suggests in the end? Which Vince states is his greatest memory as a Philadelphia Eagle. We decipher that discrepancy and more today. Hello, and welcome to Sports Vaults, presented by Data Productions, uncovering the untold, lost, and forgotten files of the sports world. Disney Studios loves taking liberties on stories to pull out all the emotions from its viewers. Fluffier the better in Disney's eyes. They have had no problem throughout history adjusting actual stories to fit the specific narratives they want to get across. Their rendition of Vince Papale's in the 1976 Philadelphia Eagles is no different. Hollywood never shies away from stretching the truth or pushing the envelope of authenticity. I will say this now before we dive into the discrepancies. I thoroughly loved Disney's Invincible with Mark Walhburg playing the 30-year-old South Philly bartender walk-on Vince Papale. But this does not mean I cannot highlight the liberties taken by Disney, which in fact hurts the overall authenticity of the real story. It's okay to love the movie and expose the Hollywood magic. Disclaimer out of the way, let's dive in. Vince is not from South Philly. Papale grew up in Glenolden, a blue-collar Philadelphia suburb located about 12 miles away from his urban movie neighborhood of South Philly. But of course, the story plays a lot better if he is from the notorious South Philly area and not his real hometown. Did Vince Papale's first wife really leave him like in the film? Yes, this is mostly true, and he did in fact use the nasty note she left him, "You'll never go anywhere, never make a name for yourself, and never make any money," as motivation. But it happened in 1971, 5 years before the events in the film.
She was right, old man. You ain't going nowhere.
Next, there was a huge height difference between the actor and real person. Mark Walhburg plays Vince Papale and is much smaller. Walhburg is only 5'8" and 170 pounds, while the real Vince Papale is 6'2" and 185 pounds.
Papale played just 1 year of high school football. He didn't play a single down in college. Sandlots were his stadiums, and semi-pro rough touch his leagues. Always the guy no one could catch.
See, Vince, that's another reason why you got to try out this weekend.
In the movie, his friends continuously beg him to go to the open tryout. Papale admits that this was somewhat different than in real life. His friends did egg him on, but he just wanted it to keep quiet.
Nobody's trying out, Tommy, okay?
Why not? You clean up at all our games.
It was 7-on-7. It was 7 guys. Everybody was eligible to go out and make the reception. Everybody was eligible to make the play. And I was the speedster.
The whole difference between me, Joe Green, and Bobby from the Tank.
The Philadelphia Eagles tryout wasn't all or nothing for Vince. If he didn't make the team, he would have went back to school, got his master's degree, and probably would have went into high school counseling. Did Vince really run a 4.5-second 40-yard dash at the 1976 Philadelphia Eagles open tryout? Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles contacted Vince Papale and invited him to the open tryout. He trained all the time. As shown in the film, on the day of the tryout, Dick Vermeil did take note of Papale's 40-yard dash time.
I first noticed Vince when we timed him in a 40. At that time, you used a stopwatch, not a digital stopwatch. I think he ran around 4.5, and he looked very good running. He said, "Hey, this guy can run."
Throw him a few.
Coaches then sent players into 7-on-7 drills.
I'm the king of 7-on-7. I play touch football for Max's, Cannon Cafe, Deacon Ale House, Benny's Bar, the Gross Place. They couldn't touch me on 7-on-7. So now these guys are trying to take my head off. You can't mess with me. I played with guys better than you. I played against Goop Delicio. You know, I played against Kiki Mamone, Mickey Spallone. You know, all these guys that I played against. You guys can't hurt me.
Well, there's no chance that he could play. I just figured there's no chance. But, you know, we're taking kids to camp. He could run. He had a tremendous, enthusiastic approach about the game, passionate about it, bubbly with sincerity. Give him a chance.
Here are some quick authentic wardrobe and prop malpractices for you in 3 scenes in this movie. An Eagles player on the sidelines is wearing a headband with the current Eagles logo. The movie is set in 1976, 20 years before the current logo was designed in 1996. The logo was also upside down. Was this on purpose? During the Giants game when Vince is knocked out of bounds, you can see he has power shoulder pads on. Riddell did not come out with the power shoulder pads until the early 1990s.
Power, the exclusive shoulder pad supplier to the World League, has even replaced the traditional separate flak jacket with a new zip-on rib cage pad in use by all teams. One-piece high-tech protection for the 90s.
The jukebox at Max's bar, where Vince worked at, was a Rowe AMI model R82, which was manufactured first in 1978. This story takes place in 1976, 2 years before.
Anybody take you to Columbo's yet? Best cheesesteak in Philly.
This is a big one. Columbo's is not a real cheesesteak spot in Philly. Some thought it was Pat or Gino's, but locals said it was an old Italian place on the corner of East Passyunk Avenue and South Juniper Street. To come full circle and to answer the question that we started with, last but not least, the movie shows Vince scoring a touchdown at the end, but his stats in real life contradict this. The filmmakers added Vince's touchdown for dramatic effect. In real life, he never scored a touchdown. But with this being said, it's still his greatest memory. As Vince would put it, against the Giants in my rookie season, I was coming down the field so hard I made 2 Giants players collide with the punt returner, and he ended up fumbling it, and I recovered it. Our offense would score a touchdown on the ensuing series, and we defeated the Giants 20-7, giving Dick Vermeil his first win as an NFL head coach. PhiladelphiaEagles.com. Join my Patreon today for only $5 to receive a monthly esoteric documentary on your favorite sports athletes and events. Real, raw, uncut, and uncensored without the limitations of YouTube. Join today to see the other side of the sports world.